welcome to The Explainer. So today we're looking at this really groundbreaking international deal. And, it's about way more than just a new fighter jet. We're talking about a whole new playbook for how the world's most advanced military hardware actually gets built.
All right, let's get right into it. In early April, something really fundamental shifted for one of the world's most ambitious defense projects. And this quote here from Masamioka, it just nails it. This isn't three separate national efforts trying to work together anymore. It's now one single, fully fledged international program, a unified mission.
So the big headline number was a contract worth nearly 700 million pounds. That's just over 900 million US dollars. But you know what? The real story here, the thing we're going to unpack, isn't that number. It's the completely new way of doing business this represents for the UK, Italy, and Japan. So let's break it down. What exactly is this deal? Well, we're talking about the very first unified international agreement for what's called the Global Combat Air Program, or GCAP for short. This is that key moment when a political promise actually turns into a real industrial scale project. And here you can see the new structure in action. It's pretty clever. You've got the three partner nations, right? The UK, Italy, and Japan. But instead of each country trying to run its own show, their biggest defense companies, we're talking BAE Systems, Leonardo, and Japan's JAIEC, they've all come together to form one single joint venture. It's called Edgewing, and its job is to lead the entire project. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. Let's get to the core of why this deal is such a big deal. See, it was specifically designed to solve a massive problem, a problem that has been a total nightmare for complex multinational defense projects for decades. Think about it. In the past, it was like trying to build one plane with three different lead architects. It was a recipe for chaos, delays, and tons of political infighting. I mean, just look at the struggles with the Franco-German-Spanish fighter project. So GCAP is taking a totally different approach. It's giving the master blueprint to just one single entity, Edgewing. And this is the absolute key. Edgewing now has what's called design authority. What does that mean? It means the buck stops with them. One single team is in charge of all the really complex, critical parts of the program, from the engineering to the integration to the final certification. It's one team with one unified vision. So with this whole new model, what are they actually building? Well, get this, it's so much more ambitious than just another fighter jet. This is about creating an entire networked ecosystem for the future of warfare. What they're creating is called a system of systems. So picture this. At the very center, you have a crewed sixth-generation fighter. But that plane, it's also a central command hub, like a quarterback. It'll be controlling a whole fleet of uncrewed aircraft. Drones, basically. And it's designed to operate seamlessly across every domain of warfare. We're talking air, land, sea, space, and even cyber. And get this, the timeline is really aggressive. The goal is to have this entire futuristic system up and running, fully operational by 2035. This is the jet that's set to replace the Eurofighter Typhoons that the UK and Italy are flying right now, and it's also going to replace Japan's F-2 fighter. Okay, but wait. If the model is so smart and the tech is so advanced, what's the catch, right? There has to be a catch. Well, as you can probably guess, it all comes down to money. It's hidden in the contract's fine print and the, let's say, challenging world of government budgets. So here's the thing. The contract they finally signed is surprisingly short. It only lasts a few months, until the end of June of this year. You see, the initial big contract was supposed to be awarded late last year, but it got delayed. So this short-term deal is really just a patch, a quick fix that points to a much, much bigger problem. So why the delay? Why the short-term deal? Well, the issue boils down to a major funding challenge that's brewing over in the United Kingdom. Right now, there's a huge public spending crunch in the UK, and it's created a massive hole in the defense budget. We're talking a reported £28 billion. Because of that, the government's whole defense investment plan is now over 8 months late. And that, of course, is holding up long-term commitments to enormous projects just like GCAP. But here's the twist. Even with all that funding uncertainty hanging over the UK's head, the alliance is actually looking to get bigger. The core idea, this new, innovative model, it's proving to be so attractive that other countries are knocking on the door, wanting to get in. And a big one is Canada.
They are on a very clear path to joining the program. The first step is to come on as an observer. That would give them access to classified info and, open the door for them to get more involved in manufacturing and development later on. And there's actually a key meeting scheduled for this coming July to make it all official.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Signing that first contract, even if it's just a short-term one, was an absolutely monumental step. It makes the whole thing real. It takes it from a political handshake deal between nations and transforms it into a tangible, industrial-scale reality that can finally start moving forward.
And all of this leaves us with one final and really critical question. The partners, right? They've designed this brilliant, innovative, unified model to build the future of air power. But is this modern approach actually strong enough to survive the same old, persistent problem of national budget battles? The answer to that question, well, it's probably going to define the future of defense collaboration for the next half-century.